A name that needs no introduction. Our third panelist is Mr. Gopal Balasubramaniam, a senior partner at KPMG Qatar, where he has been instrumental in the firm's remarkable growth over the past 31 years. Joining KPMG as the 8th employee, Mr. Balasubramaniam has helped expand the firm into a leading force with over 400 employees. He leads the audit services, overseeing key clients, including major listed entities, financial institutions, and government organizations like Qatar Energy. Mr. Balasubramaniam is a recognized leader in the oil and gas sector, offering valuable insights and strategic advice to Qatar's most prominent businesses. And beyond his professional achievements, he has made significant contributions to the Indian community in Qatar, holding leadership positions in several community organizations. And he has been recognized for his excellence with numerous accolades, including the Dilip Thakkar CA Professional Achievers Award in 2016, being named one of the top 50 prominent Indian achievers in Qatar, and receiving the prestigious titles like Ulagga Tamil Mamani by the World Tamil Economic Forum in the year 2023. Please put your hands together as Mr. Gopal takes the stage.
Thank you, Rajesh. First of all, thank you very much for having me here at this elite panel. It's really an honor to be here. You touched on a subject which is very close to my heart. I can keep talking for the whole night, but in the interest of the time, I'll keep it short. The evolution of Qatar through energy sector. I always say this in many forums. Qatar can be taken as a case study itself. There are many countries which has got natural resources, but nobody has utilized or exploited the natural resources in such a judicial way as Qatar has done it. Especially I call this as a golden period, 1994 to 2007, the golden era of Qatar in terms of the growth from the hydrocarbon sector. Why 1994? Because 1994 was the foundation stone laid for Qatar Gas 1. And then 2007 is where Emir celebrated 77 million tons achievement in Ras Laffan. There's a LED screen, a big LED screen, a circular one, where who is who of oil and gas was there. And so this golden period of Qatar, I know they have done so much. So whatever you see in Qatar, I always say it's because of the visionary decisions they have taken on the LNG sector. Mainly. So in fact, 1989, 88, I believe I've talked to some of the hydrocarbon leaders of this country. When they went for a roadshow to Europe and US, people laughed at Qatar. You're talking about LNG, Qatar is going to look at LNG development. They didn't give them chance, but it turned around within 5 years. 1994, LNG 1, Qatar Gas 1. With that, then Qatar Gas 1, 2, 3, 4, then Ras Laffan, Ras Gas 1, 2, 3. So total 14 trains they built up within the span of 13 years from 0 to 77. So this is a cash cow. The LNG model is a cash cow. The product is sold. Most of the product is sold on long-term SPAs. Even now, 80% of Qatar Energy LNG is sold by long-term SPAs. Only balance 15 to 20% is on spot deals. So that kind of a model is always a successful model. It's a capital-intensive industry. Oil and gas is a capital-intensive industry. You require so much of cash. So there is one project finance department of Qatar Energy which raised about $150 billion within a span of 7 to 8 years. That has only fueled this economy. Whatever you see in Qatar is because of that $150 billion which came into the economy, mainly into LNG, but they didn't stop in LNG alone. They went into other crude development, plus the downstream industries. You talk about QAFCO, it was only QAFCO 3. Now they're going to QAFCO 4. Blue ammonia is QAFCO 4. QAFCO 6 is already in stream. From nowhere, they're going to produce about close to 12,000 urea, I believe, 12,000 tons of urea will be the capacity by 2030. Now they're about 6 million. So it will go to 12 million tons. So even ammonia is also big, production. So it's not just fertilizer, LDP, polyethylene, they're number one, smelter plant, QVC, you name it. So there have been so much of investment which has happened in the downstream as well. So LNG is the backbone that will stay as a backbone, as Ajay also pointed out. They were at 77. Now Northfield, you also touch base. Northfield East, which will bring in 32 million tons. Northfield South will bring in another 16 million tons. So from 77, they're suddenly going to 142. 142 by 2027. Then another 6 months back, Minister announced they are going to go for Northfield West, another 16 million tons. So it's going to 142, from 127 to 142 by 2030. In fact, last week he said they are not going to stop, they are going to touch 160. This is never ending. This LNG development is never ending. They had a moratorium for 12 years.
Gopal, there is 610 million. This is a publicly
610 million tons
tons
in 27 years. In 27 years, 600
sold out.
Yeah, 610 million tons sold out in the next 27 years. So this is the kind of, it's a cash cow. Since I'm closely involved in this hydrocarbon sector for so many years, I can say that you open the tap, dollars are falling. So this is the kind of, and Qatar has been blessed to have that kind of a geographical location where the gas pressure is so high. The entire 900 trillion cubic feet is in one field, North Field. It's not like Russia and Iran, even though they have more gas resources. It's a huge country, scattered around a huge country. Here there is one field with so much of pressure, you just tap, gas comes out. The bar pressure is so high in North Field. So this again, God has blessed Qatar to have that kind of a geographical location, but that is not enough. Somebody has to take some missionary decisions. That's what they have done. There have been so many challenges. 1998, oil price went down to $8. And that's the time when the country has borrowed left, right, center for Qatar Gas and Ras Gas. People question, challenged, but you've been resilient. You've been steadfast in your objectives. And that's why they came out of all this and they're able to continue growing. So this 160 million tons, I'll tell you, next 60, 70 years, this country is sorted out because this cash is going to keep coming.
Gopal, the other important thing which for the benefit of the community is the Tauteen program.
Yep.
It's an amazingly designed where they've taken out this whole supplier equation to the next level, which is as an investor, as a real partner. So you bring in the technology, I give you my feedstock, or I give you my playground, you come and do that. But it's not that you make a lot of money, you make the kill and go, it's a partnership. So I think this is working out very well. We are seeing businesses, not just one, many Indian businesses who have actually won significant projects, in the downstream sector through the Tauteen program. Is this here to stay? What's your opinion?
Yeah, this is kicked off at least 4 years back, Tauteen, the in-country value. This is basically localization of supply chain initiative. So so for example, last year, 75 companies won jobs under the Tauteen project across 5 major sectors. The subsectors they've got, which is subsurface. I think you touch base also on chemicals. There's a lot of things happening on chemicals. There's on the MRO, which is the maintenance, repair, and overhaul. There also it's a major subsector. Then they have the light building, light equipment and building services, LBS. That's another sector where. Then digital. There are 5 subsectors where it's huge opportunities. 75 companies have already won jobs from Tauteen project, and this is not going to end. There is continuous investment which has been sought after for Tauteen project. Qatar Energy is really championing this in a big way. The ICV scorecard. This regular monitoring of ICV scorecard. Companies who want to work with energy sector, they need to have proper scoring mechanism, monitor them. That score depends on how much they invest on local market, how they supply, how they patronize the local suppliers, how do they invest on Qatari population, the local, the investment in their own people. All these things are embedded in the ICV scorecard, and it's been regularly monitored. Even when you win a project, like having a good score, that is not enough. During the project, you have to monitor that. You have to keep that ICV score at that level. Otherwise, you can be thrown out of the job. So I think there's a lot of focus on human development. supplier focus, supplier development. That's also an area where Qatar Energy is investing. Lot of training programs to lift the, upskill the suppliers to make sure that they come up to the international level. So I think Tauteen is definitely there to stay. There'll be more projects which are going to be included in that. There are a lot of feasibility studies. There are about 100 100 sectors where studies have already been done. Okay, so slowly Qatar Energy will go for it. As I said, 75 people have benefited now, and this is not going to end. It's going to continue. There are more, there are about 8 sectors where 2025 Qatar Energy is going to announce jobs. So I think this is going to continue, in my opinion.
I think the important point to take note of is the radical shift that we have seen over from 2005, if you remember, Gopal, we worked on a project called Amwaj Catering, where QP used to run catering services. I mean, that was the domination of public sector in this country. Now, to actually giving away some of the core services in oil and gas sector to the private sector. So that's the radical shift. We actually worked on Amwaj Catering. I don't know how many of you would know. That was a very surprising, I mean, you could...
Amwaj Catering person is there.
Yeah, Farooq.
Farooq is there.
Yes, Farooq.
No, not just Amwaj. Qatar Energy also had real estate. Al Sharif real estate.
No,
they came out of all this.
An example to say as to the kind of shift as to the role that they have given the private sector today, whether it's in the provision of healthcare, education, energy. It's a huge opportunity that they want the private.
5 IPOs they have done from the hydrocarbons. Just to diversify the wealth, give the wealth of hydrocarbon sector to the public. They did Wakood. Wakood was nothing but QP refinery. QP refinery became Wakood. Then that was 2001. 2003 was Industries Qatar. And 2007 was GIS. 2014 was MPHC, which is QChem 2, QVC put together MPHC. And then last one was Camco, Catalum. 5 listings have gone out of hydrocarbon sector to diversify, to share the wealth among the private sector. And this is unheard of in the regional market. Aramco, they're still struggling, So this kind of distribution of hydrocarbon wealth has happened over the last 15, 16, no, it started in 2001. Wakood was 2001. Last 25 years, Qatar Energy has done that.
I think you are hearing from someone who has the privilege of sitting in the boardroom of Qatar Energy. Qatar, so he is the man who signs the balance sheet to Qatar Energy, and he has the privilege of listening right inside. He has got the eyes and ears on the
God has been kind, KPMG has been kind enough. As I said, every single entity of Qatar Energy Group, I've had the privilege to work with them from 1994 till date. And that's given the opportunity to know insights of what's happening and what's going to happen.
As a priority matter.
Yeah, thanks. Landscape in Qatar is changing rapidly. Okay. It was a public revenue taxes department up to 2018. Government set up a separate authority called GTA, independent of Ministry of Finance, so that you have separate independent accountability. So GTA was set up in 2018. They have been on action after that, continuously doing something or other. There was a new law which came in 2021 as well. The executive regulations coming up every now and then. They want to kind of modernize their practices in line with OECD principles. There's an electronic submission of tax, which was not there before. Somebody has to go there and run and submit manually. Now electronics have the Dariba portal. Then you have risk-based assessments. So they are not doing 100% assessment. They're not taking everything and assessing taxes. Risk-based assessment process has been started. Yes, there is pain. There is pain in the market now. I could visualize that. I have lots of clients who are going through the pain now. There's so many changes. It's a journey. Now there's a new income tax director, GTA director who has come in. Khalifa Al-Kuwari is a brilliant guy who was in QIA before. I'm sure he has brought in a good team as well. So it's a journey which we have to go through in any country where best practices are suddenly getting into action, and they got into BEPS Pillar 2 thing now. In 2024 end, they announced that GMT is going to be into law has been passed, but there are certain pillars of the law, like safe harbors, de minimis exclusions. All those things, law has to come in, regulations have to come in. But plus, Trump's announcement about the GMT is also it's a setback for the region and the whole world as to how GMT will evolve. But talking about Qatar, there is a lot of things happening now. Assessments are being cleared. Yes, there is a pain in the market now. The private sector is feeling a pain in terms of seeing the assessments. But it's a journey which we have to go through. But as I said, there's a good team which has come in. And I've seen personally in the last 6 months, there's been a tremendous progress in terms of tax appeals. Tax appeal process is very robust now. Previously it was difficult. Now tax appeals process, as I said, electronic submission of taxes. All these things are going to evolve further the taxation system in Qatar. But only thing, a word of advice for all the audiences, don't take it easy. Things are moving fast and you got to put in proper systems and controls in place to make sure that data is captured properly, proper transparent accounting is there, and then reporting and submission happens within time so that you don't face any penalty situations later.